Hello, Rudy.
Hello, Jim.
How are you doing, my old good friend?
Oh, yeah, 50 plus. I think you're the same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. How are you
okay.
doing?
I'm fine. Yes, it's lovely weather. So much sun, I had to block it here. Otherwise, my face would be totally pale from sunlight. But yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. I'm good. I'm good. You're still in the Amsterdam area?
Yes, I live in the east side of Amsterdam.
Mhm. Today we will talk about lean. We will talk about true lean. We will talk about your book. Um, you were called the author of the best Dutch lean book. That's a whole title for like a humble man like you.
Yeah, it's not a title I gave myself. It's like
Yeah,
I reused I used it because others said so. They did. There is a guy on the internet that reads a lot of lean books, and he read so many, and then suddenly he read mine. But that was the original one where it's all started with. That was this one, so that's the very big one. And so at least, yeah, he gave me that title, like the best lean book. So okay, that's good marketing. So I started to use that.
yeah. So and you are like years involved in lean. Like where is that passion coming from for lean?
Well, it started around, I don't know exactly, but it was during my MBA. I started an MBA in 2006. My original education is building technology. I studied in Delft University. Um, but I never really worked in the construction industry. I did a lot of process kind of things, IT related, and it always had to do with process improvement. But
Mhm.
the thing was, um, I encountered a lot of situations where people were neglected, or at least it was all about IT and not that much of the interaction of the people. Then I did my MBA, and we had a course that was strategic operation management by an English professor, and he talked about lean. And then suddenly I thought, oh, if I hear what he tells about lean, that is very close to how I see the situation and how I think about it. But I couldn't give it a label. It was just my own thoughts. And because it was so close to my personal, yeah, I think values or whatever, what's behind it, that's triggered me.
Mhm. And what's like for people who are not like really close to lean, what is like, let's say, the classic definition of lean? What is lean about?
Ooh, yeah, I think that's always a difficult one because, yeah, then you try to comprehend the whole. Well, I I write whole books about it and
Yeah.
comprehend a sentence of something. And what you hear a lot is it's always about creating value and uh, try to avoid waste. But I not always like that definition. I don't really have a definition. My undertitle for my own website is Perform with Respect,
Mhm.
because it's about performing, and that's about the continuous improvement, the performance side. But what it lacks, many people like the performance part, but they don't like the respect part.
Mhm.
So my focus is on the respect. And you see that also in the two pillars that Toyota is using. They say it's about continuous improvement and respect for people. And I rather talk about those two pillars as than about value and waste reduction. That's too narrow for
Yeah.
me, and it misses the point of the people side.
Yeah. Yeah, and that side is like really, it becomes more. I have the idea that for you it becomes more and more important, the people side. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's from not more and more. It's while writing my book, while I worked at a construction company, finally, when I had more lean knowledge, and I started to give presentations, then I was triggered by, okay, there is more to it, and it's not that much explained. So the whole book is also already about more working together, about the people side. But yeah, some part of it became more important. Less tools, more people,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's why I did some beautiful sessions with you, and yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that maybe the fact that you were like in a burnout,
Hmm.
um, did that influence that you don't like the let's say the squeezing side of lean?
Yeah, definitely. Well, the burnout part, that's probably when I look back came. I was very close to burnout before. I had a burnout in 2011 when my daughter was born, and that's probably how it triggered it, because I wanted to start yelling at my little girl. She was still a baby, and then I dropped to my knees and thought, I don't want that. And when I look back, it probably had to do with my father being yelling a lot, and every time I encounter people and say like the bosses I had, and that was a difference in how they approach me. They said, "Well, I'm above you," and then yeah, that triggered something. So yeah, that's something I don't like, and and yeah, we call it in Dutch gelijkwaardigheid. So
Equality, yeah.
equality, exactly. That's main value of me. And then I knew, okay, that's what triggered burnout, and that's also a main part of the whole lean thinking and the respect for people part. So yeah, it all
Yeah.
comes together. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you wrote a book, True Lean, with the
Mm.
like, and you made it like visual in like a house with five parts. Can you talk about the five parts of that house?
Yeah, of course. Maybe I'll take the English version of the book.
Yeah.
This is the exactly. I made a different title than the Dutch book. That is Lean Basis, and it's already the fourth print just released. And well, with my uh, yeah, we changed the name a little to True Lean. And here you see underneath, you see the Lean house with the parts. And the main part, let me start there, is well, a lot of houses um, they don't draw the underground. For me, it all starts with the underground. If you make a translation to building houses, then of course you need a firm fundament. Um, but yeah, a fundament should be based on a ground, on a good ground. And the ground here in this model is about the purpose of an organization. So for me, it's always like um, um, when organizations start with lean and or they try to do something in that area, it's often not that well based. So if there's something wrong in the purpose side, and it's a lot to do with values, like I have my own values, but if that they are not aligned with the lean thinking, then there will be a clash. Then I already know this will never succeed. So that should be aligned, not exactly, but at least in the sort of same direction. So that's the underground, the
Yeah,
purpose.
fundament.
Then we have, and I always jump to the root because that's more about the goals we have, what we want to achieve. That's about value creation and making people happy with our services and products. So that's where value comes in. So that's more our goal. So normally when we build a house, uh, then the goal we have is a roof over our head. So that's the same in here. Uh, and it's interconnected with the other things. Then we have, of course, the fundament that's been built. That's more about stability. So
Mhm.
it's the same in house building, and stability in lean is more about that you have things visualized, that you know where you're going. Uh, that's uh, that's leveled things of production or of information. So that's a lot of things that makes it more um, stable and not already per se say improvement. So it's basics. That's why it's in the fundament. We have two pillars on the side. The one is about time. Let's say just in time. It's the term we know, but I call it tijdigheid in Dutch, timeliness. And the other one is about quality. And they work hand in hand. Like if you know the lean principles, you have to do things in small parts so you can control the quality. And okay, it works back and forward. When quality is good, then it's easier to make things on time and stay on time. So they work hand in hand. Those are the pillars. And then we have the center part, and that's all about uh, people. And that's more where the outer way comes in for me. It's where the core values, the principles of challenge, of kaizen, of going back to the source, of respect for people, of teamwork are in there. And that central part keeps all the other things together. So that's, in short, the model.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I know your books, and they are like really practical and like visual. So like it's all in small parts. So it's not too theoretical. I like the style of the book. So if people are
Okay,
watching,
thank
then
you.
go ahead and buy these books. Now I will maybe I do a trick. Look at my cup of so, and when I do like this, so see why why
Toyota.
why why is Toyota so important in the lean philosophy?
In the lean philosophy, yeah, that's well for me. Toyota, or for me, for many people, Toyota is the source. However, it started, I guess, in the 70s when in Japan or in the whole world we had the oil crisis, and there were people like from the Japanese government looking at some companies that were already back on top of the whole crisis, and one of them was Toyota. So they asked them, "What are you doing different than other companies? Because you don't have that much the problems other companies have with the whole crisis in the world." And so they explained, and they started using that house as a model, like
Mhm.
everything is interacted. Um, and okay, they just use their own way. In Toyota, they don't use, like you also know, the word of lean, at least here in the Netherlands, maybe, and in England, but in America, but not in Japan. In Japan, they hardly know the word lean. They have their own way of working. They call it the Toyota way, or every company would call it, it's our way of working. And yeah, others started translating that way of working and tried to put a label on it. And okay, there's a video about that. The people that made that label or created that label of lean. because they thought, okay, what we see at Toyota is a reduction of problems, reduction of people, reduction of floor capacity. It's all about reduction. Okay, maybe the word lean as well. But
Mhm.
then it started translating into other countries, like non-English countries, like the Netherlands, Germany, whatever, Spanish countries. And then the word lean maybe suddenly becomes a little bit awkward. But yeah, the fundament is Toyota. But even Toyota, when I wrote my books, I started not, I didn't read that many books about Toyota itself. Of course, I did, but then I
Mhm.
started reading books from people that Toyota was inspired by, like Deming and Henry Ford. So, what was their inspiration? And say the family, it was also the core values of the Toyota family.
Mhm.
And so that's more interesting. So, not go back to Toyota, but go back to the sources that inspired Toyota.
Yeah. Now, Toyota started in the 50s with the Toyota production system, and then it was yeah. Norman Bodek was then one of the guys who took the Toyota production system to America. Now that was in the 50s. Now when we listen to Paul Akers, one of the lean maniacs, and like yeah, one of the first guys putting all the improvements in like small videos, he says like maximum 2% of the organizations are truly lean. How come it's
Mhm.
so difficult, and that it takes so many years like to just show people the impact and the benefits of lean?
Yeah, one thing is, like I explained, is that it misses um, an underground, like the purpose that is connected. Like many companies that started lean is more under a sort of lean flag, and it's they want to perform, so they want to squeeze out everything out of the organization, but they rather abuse the people working in the organization than respect the people of the organization. Um, so they call it lean. So when you would do a whole analysis and ask companies, oh yeah, you're having a lean program, and then you dive into it, what they do, I rather not want to put it on a lean flag. So that's one thing. So of, yeah, then of course it doesn't work. Like if you don't, if you miss one of the pillars, like respect for the people,
Mhm.
it won't succeed. But I think if you do another research and you do a research on the companies that really focus on and respect for people and then try to make performance, I think that percentage of 2% would be much higher.
Mhm.
I don't know what it would be, but I can't imagine it would be 2% as well. So I think it's a sort of false false flag they use for reorganization and trying to perform and whatever. It's more for the yeah, more for the money than really for the customer and for the organization itself.
Yeah, yeah, and maybe it's because he says like Paul Akers says like lean has to be fun and easy, and, and maybe that is like in a lot of companies it's seen like as a burden.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, I think many consultants after years had the problems when there were sort of cowboy consultants already been there and tried to reform the organization and use the lean flag. It's very hard to come in again and talk about lean because they have such a negative experience about it already, or they heard about colleagues or other companies, so it gets a negative uh, yeah, connotation. And and that's why in my own lean trainings, I don't give that much lean training, but every time I front of a group, I never start talk about lean and about the term lean or whatever. I start with what's in it for the people.
Mhm.
When you had a very good day at the office, how would you describe it? And people would say, use words like, "Oh yeah, it gives me energy," or "I was in a flow," and those kind of things. I succeeded, and then you start asking people, okay, when that's the word that describes a good day at the office or at work, uh, what happened? And they say, well, yeah, it's about uh, I didn't have much obstructions. I worked very well together with my colleagues and those kind of things. Okay, that's interesting, because if you take that all together, that's what lean stands for. It stands for eliminating those problems.
Mhm.
And okay, that's eliminating waste, but waste is too narrow. It's like eliminating all these obstructions you encounter. So when you encounter obstructions and you could take them away, you make somebody happy, like or the customer, or at least people that working. In the Netherlands, we had a sort of video going around about a purple crocodile, the paarse krokodil, that was about the bureaucracy at a company where yeah, when you come there and you have to take back, you were at the swimming pool and somebody forgot the crocodile, and the color was purple. And the girl said, "Yeah, that's my crocodile." And the woman, her mother, says, "Well, that's our crocodile. Can we have it back?" And the guy at the counter says, "No, no, no. You have to fill out all these forms and those kind of things." So when you take that away, all the burden, you make people happy, and you make processes flow easier and those kind of things. So um, it's not that. Yeah, the focus should be not on the word lean and uh, that much for me, because that's too much negative connotation. So I rather start what's in it for the people.
Yeah.
Then nobody will say, "Oh no, no, I don't like not having a nice working day and have." I could work together very well with my colleagues, and we didn't have much problems, those kind
Mhm.
of things. So nobody will say, "No, no, I don't want that." So everybody wants it. Then it's okay. That's what lean is about. And
Mhm.
then okay, they're already more into it and want to accept. Okay, then tell me more about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, is that like here we have a look like, and that's about the Toyota engagement. Is that what you mean with like how lean can be kind of integrated or used to engage people, like to get like the first steps of like working together by creating like these win-wins and by showing them like what's in for them, what's in for the company, like that
Yeah,
win-win, that collaboration thing.
yeah, yeah. Because every time I come to a work floor and there is a manager and that starts about targets. And say, yeah, we have this goals for the company and targets. It's most of the time it's about money or growing and those kind of things. And then you see people looking away and think, okay, just give me a nice day at work. I want
Mhm.
that. And that's what in it for them. Like if that's the trigger, and okay, there are some people maybe more in management and in the financial system that look at other things, but okay, they you have all kind of different layers, so everybody is triggered by something else, and the other one wants to just make nice products for the customer, wants to be innovative, whatever. But you have to look at that side. So what is triggering people? And then you get I would say, yeah, the engagement, because nobody wants to say, no, 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 I don't want to have a fun job and have lovely colleagues and those kind of things. Everybody wants it. And from there, you can work towards, connected towards the goal you have as a company. And
Mhm.
I mainly see that as a disconnection goal the company has, and the motivation of things that motivates people.
Yeah, yeah, and then the guy who, and now I'm grabbing the book, the guy who brought yeah, Toyota to America. Like after 25 years, he said like I was looking 25 years for this, and then the Harada method. That's a book about like how you can keep your balance while you try to achieve a goal. So that mix for him. Plus the fact that you can grow people to the best version of them of themselves, like that was something that he later on wanted to integrate in lean. So the mix between like balance and result, and really growing people to their best version of themselves. uh, is that like a trend that you see, like lean is going, that individual attention for people?
Yeah, definitely, and not only within lean. It's like the whole community, this whole society is more like that. Uh, I think that was neglected for many years. It was all about performance. You heard a lot, and still hear about a lot of burnouts. The burnouts come younger and younger. People are Many young people are under so much pressure to perform that it bounces back, and yeah, the personal side and the balance and becomes more and more important, whether it's for lean or not. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And for you personally also, and then you added like that sustainability part on it.
yep.
So that's what you are going back to your like passion for building, and how you integrate the sustainability. Explain a little bit to the people watching.
Yeah, the sustainability part was already there when I did my MBA, because I had to find a way to talk about lean in my thesis and do research. And well, there was already so much research done about lean that I thought, okay, what kind of cross section can I create that is unique? And I was already triggered by the thoughts of sustainability. So I did a little research on the internet. What's about lean and sustainability? And finally, I came across a professor in Groningen, in the Netherlands, and, on a lean operation research center, and they had lean and sustainability on the website for research. And I called him and I asked, okay, what is there already some research on it? And he said, well, it says on the website, but it's hardly. So that's where it first started. Also, my wife has an how do you call it, a consultancy organization about circular economy.
Uh-huh.
That's not only technical, but also biodiversity and energy and those kind of things. So it's in the house, it's integrated here. And and for the future, of course, we have two young children. My young. The oldest is 12, and the other one is 9. But then you look at those children, and you look at the future, and then you think, okay, there's a lot of going on in the world. What can we do to uh, make a better future for them?
Mhm.
And that's why we start, and I start thinking more and more about the well, whole kind of thing, and eco housing. It's like we were first question was, hey, you still live in Amsterdam? Yeah, I live in Amsterdam, but that's also part. Yeah, do we still want to live in Amsterdam over 10 years, and where do we want to live, and how should that look like? And how that should look like, we have a sort ideal situation when it's more self-sustaining,
Mhm.
so sort of off grid, not connected to the energy resources or water resources. You can live by yourself, maybe even the food and make more in an environment that's very biodiverse. So that's our sort of dream for now, between now and 10 years. But yeah, if you want to live in that dream over 10 years, make it reality, then we already start, well, taking some steps towards it. So yeah, that's interesting. So that's why eco.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's how I know you, like a man who likes leading by example, following his values, and yeah, sustainability is one of them, but also I know you are very sensitive to justice. So,
Mhm.
how important are these values for lean, for what you call true lean?
Very important. Without them, for me, it's like I said before, it's not lean. It's a sort of false flag. You want to improve things. Yeah, everybody wants to, but it should be based on the right conditions, and that the right conditions that has more to do with true lean than the word true lean. This is the only truth of lean. That's not how I mean it, but more the right conditions you use to do it. And yeah, honesty, uh, those kind of things are very important, because otherwise it won't last. So the equality and those kind of things, yeah. So that and I say they won't last, and that is also has to do with sustainability
Yeah.
lasting. So and so that's environmental, but also personal lasting, and as a organization, yeah.
Yeah, and then my last question, for Rudy Gort, true lean means, and then you add.
Uh, Truly means uh, basing your process improvements and everything you want to do in life on uh, good values that are lasting. Yeah, maybe something like that. It's different to say, difficult to
Okay.
say.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rudy, for being our guest today. I wish you
Thank
all the
you
best with
for
your,
having me.
yeah, I wish you all the best with your new eco house and all the lean at home. So
Yes,
thank you very
great.
much. I see you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.